Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas to you. Woo! Fully in Christmassy mood, celebrating all the time. No, actually, it's not for me, but I allow myself to have a nice time in my own way, just chilling, and I feel good. I'm a bit surprised myself that I feel so good. I was a bit worried I might feel lonely, but I actually don't. I feel great. Maybe also because I've found, I rediscovered a YouTuber I like watching and it feels like company. So I thought I may as well give you some company as well for the Christmas time where people feel desperate or depressed, maybe both. And maybe you're doing a lot with your family, feel very annoyed, and then want to have some decent company. Or you don't have family, or you don't want to see your family, or you just feel like, why on Christmas it's so overrated and this high expectation only feels to disappointment. I just listened to this one radio show where they said the magic about presents is the surprise, is that what is in the present actually is bigger than your expectations. And since Christmas is already so much about expectations, about being happy and expecting to get great presents, it is almost impossible to still get surprised and excited about something you didn't expect already. So the whole point of giving presents, in my perspective, is lost anyway. Furthermore, I'm not into this stuff collecting, being proud of getting more and more stuff and getting the planet destroyed more and more, and abuse other people who have to work for low budget to make you able to gift presents so you don't have to pay a fortune and still feel like you're so generous about yourself. So this whole thing is just a weird construction built on lies and ignorance, how it affects the society and the environment and the people you care about, who then value the gifts you're spreading more than your personality, which I also have in my family sometimes. That, yeah, but I don't want to go deep into this, but I have experience from people who feel like they should give in order to be liked, and this is something I feel very not good about. So how could I enjoy a gift if I cannot enjoy this person? Then I don't want to have gifts from that person either. That's just like, I don't know, ordering a prostitute, which I don't actually would think about things like that myself, because then you at least know what to expect and you have the right to demand it. I get that, but the whole thing, the whole magic gets lost, and that's why, I don't know, it doesn't feel so appealing to me then. But everybody is different, and I get that. When I did my travels around, I had this weird idea that is spread it around also the internet and in my family, you know, you can travel around the world without paying a penny for anything. And I thought, yeah, sure, I can do that. I'm so valuable. I have so much to give to people so that they would be willing to feed me and pay for everything I need. Until I figured out, everybody thinks about themselves like that they are the pleasure for someone else, so people should appreciate it in a way that they are willing to welcome anybody. But no matter how great you are annoying and a pain in the ass when you stay too long. So I am so grateful for this system, what we have, that I actually get paid for caring for other people, and then I can pay my own flat and have the right to be here and not have to tiptoeing everywhere and feel like I need to be pleasant to everybody around. I can just do my own thing, and I'm so grateful. And yeah, I have family members who romanticize this not having a thing and then be dependent on other people to support you. And this dependence is really, I really don't like it. Maybe especially as a female. But anyhow, yeah, it's not in my nature. I think because of my history, how I grew up as the 9th child of a big family, where my father lost his job, and when I was about, I don't even know how old I was, maybe 7 or so. And yeah, so my family struggled there, and I feel like I was a burden to my family, and learned this way how to live, or this awareness how to live without being a burden to anyone, got stuck in my mind. Before that, before the age of 7, and it was gradually, of course, but I was a very ignorant child, a very dumb, ignorant child. I don't know, I felt like I had no awareness. I mean, I had a consciousness. I even remember when I got my conscious at the age of 3. I still remember my sister was, how you say, knotting my hair, which was really nice, and it was like going through a tunnel. Things like was first like a little thing, and then they got bigger and bigger, and then there was my awareness. I don't know why I remember. I think I talked with my brother, my older brother, about it, and that's why I remember. Or maybe even just with my twin sister, that we talked about what is the first thing you can remember. And so yeah, we thought about it, and I memorized this, and I was about 3 years old, so it fits. And because it's, I don't know, maybe I was surprised and the surrounding was surprised that I remembered, I kept remembering that. So this is very watery. I think I need to get some tissues. It is, kind of morning. I got up all right at about 6:30 and watched a lot of stuff because I wasn't motivated to do anything, and I allowed myself to do that, so that's fine. And I needed some rest. As you can see, I have some little something on my lip, so I hesitated to do this video, but because I felt such a need to talk to you, to reach out to you, because I know myself how much in need I am for content in this celebrating times. Yeah, I'm with you. I know what you go through, and it's not as bad as you think it is. Yeah. It's only the expectation that makes you feel bad about being alone. But actually being alone is great. Yeah. I wrote down some questions. Yeah, some Q&As. You would ask, and because I've watched many other Q&As before from other YouTubers, I think this would be something people would be interested about. For example, why is being a single person a great thing? Oh, where to start? I have many reasons for that, but I didn't know this before, because being in a relationship and having a family is so much more romanticized in society than being single. I think we're slowly developing there that being single can be as great and okay and pleasurable as being in a relationship. But it's weird that the idea is so much spreaded in the media, especially in movies and shows, how it's a relief to be in a relationship, then you appear to be a person who get along in life and being okay, and when you're not getting along in life and you're not okay. And this is so much not true. It's the opposite, really. How much people struggle with relationships, with communication, with codependency, with violence, with disappointments, with assaults, with the lack of freedom. I think I just had a comparison in mind. Oh yeah, it's like a cat. I mean, I love cats. I love the idea of cats, and I love watching clips about cats in YouTube. But having a cat myself, I know they never want to be cuddled when I want to cuddle them. They only want to cuddle whenever I have to focus and work, so I cannot focus on work. They destroy everything. They get everything messy whenever you have to move, and I don't know, you have a great opportunity to work somewhere else and do something really exciting, you cannot do because it's hard to find a flat with a cat, and you have to consider all the needs of the cats, that the flat is big enough, that you have outside space, and that you have time for your cat and stuff like that. It's the same with a relationship, really, that you have to spend time when they want, and often when you want to spend time they cannot. When you feel physical needs, maybe they don't, maybe you don't have the same physical needs. Anyhow, even if it's the greatest sex and physical contact you could imagine, it wears out at some point, and then you feel like it's just boring and you take everything for granted, and yeah, it's all messy. Yeah, I don't want to say that's bad, and I still wish I will have some more relationships. I don't think I can, or I wonder if I would be able to commit to one person. I would like to. I mean, I still have the influence of society that I think that would be a nice thing, but I get bored pretty easy, and it would really have to fit my lifestyle. And since I'm a weirdo with my lifestyle, I think it might be impossible to find anyone who would fit this lifestyle. yeah, that's just as it is. Talking about lifestyle, this is why I cannot have a relationship, because I have a weird lifestyle. So maybe I should share what my lifestyle is about. And I love my lifestyle. I really like it, how I developed since I'm single. Yeah, it was harder before, and I've learned a lot in my relationships. They were great. I'm grateful that I had those. No questions about that. I learned in each relationship something more and discovered the world more, but as much I do learn now being a single. What I have learned, yeah, I don't drink coffee anymore. I don't drink alcohol. I do exercise regularly, and quite a lot. And I do sleep regularly. I get up every day, every fucking single day at 6 o'clock. I mean, the alarm goes off at 6 o'clock. Sometimes on weekends, I keep snoozing for until an hour, which is not so good, but I love it to be able to snooze a little longer, cuddle with my blanket, and just feel comfy. And yeah, so that's what I do. And I love my work. I love to study. I love making YouTube videos. I mean, when I'm not doing YouTube videos, I mean, this is quite new. And before I just did my diaries. And that takes time. Alone time. I cannot do with company. And if I don't do that, I like to listen to Deutschlandfunk, which is, I don't know, public radio, where I get news and science information and social science information, all that stuff. And I never could share this with other people. So, and I cook my food myself. I'm a vegan. So there's that. And I don't like to be disturbed while cooking, and I don't really like to eat with other people because I don't want to adjust with my eating habits to other people. I don't really have habits. I just eat when I'm hungry, and I don't want to eat when I'm not hungry or when I don't want to. And this is this pressure in what people have, that you eat when they eat because it's supposed to be a social thing. But I think there's so much more things about eating, that you need to eat healthy, but that you should eat in a pleasurable way, that you should not eat too much because then you gain weight, and this is not what society likes, and all that stuff. It's just too confusing and weird that somehow I cannot do anything right with food, so I rather do it myself. And yeah, everybody else can do their own food. Yeah, I don't have to meet their expectation or their preferences. I do what I like, and everybody else can do whatever they like. So yeah, what else? Oh, I don't like to travel. Not for holidays. I love, the world and different countries, and that's why I do this as well. Reaching out to different cultures, to, I don't know, South Africa, India, China, Mongolia, Canada, Peru, Siberia, I don't know, any place in the world. What else is there? And then I have to translate them in English. I don't know. Timbuktu. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, I think, that Timbuktu is actually a real place, because it's just what people say when you feel like it's somewhere far away, like Nirvana or the moon or Mars or whatever, not a reachable place. Yeah, I couldn't say that when I'm actually there. So I like traveling, to live somewhere else, to meet people, to be included into their culture, but not to go somewhere where people are poor, to, how you say, voyable, to, I don't know, show off my richness, to feel richer than I actually am. And pleasure myself all the time. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's hard not to judge. I do judge because it affects the people there. And in some way, it's good for the economy, but they depend on rich people to pay them to, I don't know, clean their shoes or whatever. And they get too low paid. You would have to pay way more in a rich place where you come from than in their places. So you may not even be able to afford it into your own place. And this feels, I don't know, it feels very abusive to me. Yeah, so this is not what I would do. What else? Just a few more weird habits that I do exercise when I brush my teeth, and it might look a bit funny. I like to listen to music and dance around, but I don't really want to be self-conscious while doing that. I just want to have fun, and I don't want to annoy my neighbors, so I do it with headphones to make it really loud, and you cannot do that when there are other people around. I don't like partying. This is way too late in the day, and since I have a regular sleep pattern, I cannot do that. And that's why it's great to be single, because I can do all that, taking care of myself, yeah, following my needs, and meanwhile being productive and useful for the society as well, is just what's my thing. So I think it turns out the best for everybody. Win-win situation. And maybe you can do that too. Whatever your situation is, you should make a win-win situation out of it. If you don't enjoy it, if this is not the right thing for you, you maybe should make a change. And don't feel dependent that you need someone. It's only in your heart. I thought I need meat, but I don't. I figured out how not to live with it. I thought I need dairies, and I've learned I don't. I thought I need chocolate, but I figured out I don't. I thought I need coffee, and I don't. I thought I need alcohol in social situations, but I can also live without. I knew I was able to do exercise regularly, but it never fit with, managing my timetable, meeting people, doing work, doing other things, and then there was not enough time, and now I have enough time since I don't have a big social community around me. So yes, being single gives me a lot of freedom to do my thing, and I don't feel in pain during the Christmas times, being by myself and allowing myself to just rest and enjoy and chill. And I'm grateful for the YouTube people out there to give me some company in those times. So this is me giving something back. And I'm not always like that. Yeah. I mean, I think in general, I am quite a grateful person, a kind of humble person that really is aware that everything I can feel pleased about is such a special, great thing to be. I don't take it for granted. Yeah, not at all. And maybe it helped me that I am an emotional person that goes through waves, like many people do. Some people have higher waves and some people have just little waves. And I am, I guess, a bit more of the more higher and lower spectrum. So I can feel very bad and scared. And living the lifestyle I live right now makes those waves more even, and I don't get as low anymore because I have my rhythm, I have my things, and I know how to get through hard times as well. Yeah, I just figured out the name for it, and I wasn't really aware that this word exists, and I think it needs to be spread, this word, because it got so normalized that people are scared being alone because it's not what you are supposed to be. You should not be alone. You should depend on a relationship and having people around, but you should not. Yeah, and this is actually something like a disease. How you say it? Monophobia. Yeah, when you feel anxious, oh dear, I'm alone, and I'm alone a whole week or whatever, or whole weekend, or for the celebration times, when you spiral down and oh my god, I feel trapped, I cannot do anything about it, nobody loves me, what do I do wrong, how do I change, should I just hook up with any random somebody so I don't feel alone? And you should not breathe, relax, it'll pass. Any emotion pass. They do. Itself. Yeah? And don't let your head make you go crazy. I know that, yeah, when your head just makes things worse and worse and worse and worse. Go outside now, go running, and then your head will clear up. Running is such a good medicine. And whenever I also feel physical needs, to have someone around, go running is the best. You feel your body, you do your body some good, and afterwards you feel like you have had sex already. Yeah, it's awesome. Even though you might struggle running outside, sometimes I feel like I run backwards. I feel like everything seems so heavy, so difficult. And then I run a few extra kilometers until I feel like I broke the chains and I get into the rhythm of just running and not thinking and not having an effort anymore. And then everything hurts, but in a good way. This is me probably having the best time of my life. I'm grateful. Yeah. It's not everything just fireworks, just going crazy. It's better than that. It's stable and it's self-content and being confident I'm doing the right thing and that I'm good enough and that I have the capacity to pay attention to myself. And therefore, when I did the rest in those weekends, on the Monday, after these holidays, it's Tuesday, but else on Monday morning at work, I have full energy to start to do what has to be done throughout the whole day. I am productive. And then after work, I feel like, yes, I did a good job. Yeah, so it all goes well with it. And not like some colleagues, they say, oh, they did so much partying, so much people stuff on the weekend. They are so exhausted on Monday mornings, they just have to rest and they cannot focus or do anything. And that doesn't seem really enjoyable. Yeah, so I'm grateful. What else? I wrote down a few more questions. How not to have children. Yes. It's just like this eating meat, and thought it is essential. It's a part of my personality that I do that. I never ate meat so much, but rather dairy products. I felt like I need those proteins, but I was well able to, how you say, compensate with beans and stuff. And I really thought I needed to get children as well. Like the desire was, I totally understand people who feel the desperate need of having children. It wasn't rational, but you're just out of control. It's crazy what you believe that you have to do, and you feel like there's just no question that it could be a different way. And that's why I'm so grateful and surprised now, with 35 years, that the need of having children is gone. Done. I'm done with it. It's not like I don't find children cute anymore, or I don't like to, see others having children. Even though I now can think more rational about it, I didn't think rational about it, because the desire was so in me that I couldn't. It just was something what I really wanted. But now I know it is selfish in a world where we have many people who are starving, who are suffering, who need care. And then you decide to create another human that needs care and education and support, and therefore there is less energy and support to care for anybody else in this world. And I feel we should all feel a bit more like a big whole family to care for each other, and that we should not only focus on our small family. But there are good things. I understand there are good and bad things, and I get that it is overwhelming when you are aware that many of your siblings struggling so hard and you cannot save them all, and you have to take care for yourself and set boundaries of how much you can do and how much where you cannot do more. And there is some guilt, I know. Setting boundaries means that you accept the fact that you don't share some of your wealth and other people are dying because of that, because you don't want to give up your pleasant surrounding or whatever. But I think the awareness of this and still feel compassionate about those people is already a first step. And then, the next step is, okay, as soon as I see, okay, I have more than I feel the need for, I can give, and figure out a way how to, live a compassionate life for other people as well. So I just spent some money for this reproductive rights thing, because I think it's so important for women to decide on themselves if they want a family or not, if they want to create another person or not, and how in poor countries, when you get your 8th child or whatever, you struggle to feed all of them. And so having fewer children and being able to support them properly is doing the whole family so much better than having too many children. And I wish that this idea will be more supported. Yeah, I'm concerned. I know this word is used so often to justify bad actions against people. And how do we know what is good or bad? We don't. But we should feel compassionate anyway, and it's all what we can do, figure out our values and see how we can live them. And either you do something good or you end up being like Hitler, who's killing and torturing many people. I always need to have some amount of doubt about my values, because you can feel strongly about something that it seems right to you, and then it might be harmful for some people. And that's why I think it's such a great opportunity to reach out to the world and communicate and take different perspectives in, and considering how to have a different perspectives on your own values. But for whoever is out there desperate, in need to give birth to children, you don't have to. You feel like you really, really need to, but it passes away. I mean, it took some years. I don't know. Maybe I wanted to have children since I was 10 or 12 or whatever, until very recently, maybe 1 year ago or 2. So for about 20 years, so don't worry. You only have to suffer for 20 years and then you will be good. It will not be painful anymore. Okay, that might not be convincing, but as soon as you have children, the joy of, yes, finally I did it, will be gone. And parenting and doing all that stuff also takes 20 years until you are finally free again. And until then, your own needs don't matter much anymore. You have to pull back your own interest for the child for about 20 years. So maybe think about it. And the amount of rubbish that produces. And if you want to live in an ecological friendly way, everything is more expensive. So it is very challenging to live with a child and still considering the environmental impact, while at the same time, the earth is being destroyed, and you would actually want for your child a place to live in and not an inflamed place where the risk is high to die from climate change effects. So maybe consider that it might not be the right time to put children into this world. What else? I think I have actually covered many of those topics. Yes. This one. How to be happy of getting older. How to be happy that, yes, another year is done. I can celebrate the turning of the next year because I think it was a great year in the way that I did some good for myself. I did some changes in my own lifestyle, and I did some papers done for my studies, and I did some good at my work. I learned new things. So it was a good year, but it was exhausting at the same time. And I feel like, yes, it's a year I feel happy to look back on, but I wouldn't want to relive it. No, it's done. I'm grateful I did it. Chaka. Nice done. Okay, next year can come now. So this is how I am grateful for every year that passes. I'm aiming, just as I did for the last year, to make the most of it so that I'm happy when it finished. And it means, of course, to struggle throughout that year. Yeah, crossing your boundaries, developing, crushing, failing, being in despair, feeling like I don't know where to go, what is right, what is wrong, and then figuring it out and feel like, yes, I did it. And I'm aware that one reason that I'm able to do all of this is because I'm quite healthy. I did use some kind of contraception that wasn't good for me, and I struggled with my heart and also with my digestion, and I am so aware how hard it is to have a chronic illness. I'm so grateful for everybody with chronic illnesses share how their lives is are, because most often you don't see them in the street, or you don't see how they struggle in lives. And I think it's so important to be aware of this, and how you can feel whiny about, oh my goodness, my heart aches, or I have problems with my stomach, or I feel unable to go out of bed. And yes, it's valid to suffer from this, but to put it all into perspectives, how we all suffer in different ways, and the amount of pain is just fucking unjustified distributed. I think it's so important to be aware that it's nobody's fault. The world is unjust. It is how it is. The world, the nature, it's unjust. Some people suffer way more than others. And I think as a human being with some values, it feels like my duty to do something about it. Yes, nature is shit, even though I love to be in nature and I much rather prefer to live a sustainable, ecological friendly lifestyle. But I don't need to romanticize that nature is cruel, and I want to do something about it to make living for as many living things as possible more bearable. Yeah. And in my perspective, I know there are people who say, yeah, let's just reduce suffering. By my perspective, this is not the right approach. In my perspective, we need to prepare people, each other, ourselves, how to be able to manage pain instead of, or manage pain to be able to reduce suffering. Because there was an calculation, how it says, pain multiplied by the lack of acceptance means suffering. So as soon as you accept the pain, there's no suffering. Yeah, and this is what I do, is, whenever I struggle, whenever I fail, whenever I'm not good enough, I feel like this is an opportunity to grow. And when I, refer to it in a new way as something, as when you give birth to a child, this is the worst pain and struggle, but it's for something better, something to create something that you love. And creating a personality and growing means to rebirth yourself in a way. And so every pain that you can go through can make you grow bigger. And in my perspectives, I feel like people who had struggled a lot but were willing to grow out of it and to accept it and to make the most of it, those are the most beautiful people. People who had it always just easy seem too ignorant to really be able to relate to different lifestyles. Because, you can have an easy life, but as soon as you're able to empathize with other people, this lifestyle isn't easy anymore. And maybe I'm one of those who have comparably a very easy life, but since I'm empathizing with how other people are struggling with life, it's not easy, it's painful. I know it's so unjust that I have so many more opportunities than others have, and I feel like I really need to be grateful and use those opportunities well and not waste them because other people would dream about having those opportunities. Yes. So it's not easy to have a comparably easy life. because this comes with a big responsibility to not fuck it up. Okay, I'm hungry now. I need to eat some breakfast. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great time. You're not alone. There will be coming up more whenever I have time to, and I take ages to upload something because I'm not so much into this editing part. I rather like this talking part. So maybe this will be up next year of Christmas then, and I'm curious about myself, how I feel about it then. Take care. Happy New Year. Make the best of it. Aim for being a less shitty person, please. Thank you. Bye.